Welcome everyone back to the UK Journeyman save. In today's episode we have two Premier League games. We're at home to Newcastle and at home to Mansfield. Since you last left us, we have progressed in pretty much every competition. When was the last game? Yeah, the League Cup final. We did lose in the Prem 1-0 to Liverpool, but we've backed that up with a nice win and run. We beat Everton 3-1 in the league and then a 5-0 win over QPR in the league as well. We're in the FA Cup semi-final after beating Hull 2-0 in the quarters, and we're also in the semi-final of the Conference League as well against Famalicão after beating Bilbao 10-1 over two legs. A massive, massive thumping. So it looks like we're probably going to be in the final of the FA Cup because Burnley are, I think, 15th in the Championship, so really struggling. I'm surprised they're doing that well in the FA Cup. And we've got a team from Portugal who aren't one of the big three. So we should be getting to the final of three competitions, and that should be the next episode, is playing those two finals. In terms of the Prem, it's pretty much make or break now. In terms of getting in the top four, we are, or the top five even, we're 7 points behind Newcastle with a game in hand. So we really got to start making up ground now. But obviously a win does get us that bit closer with a game in hand. So this is the team we're going for with the Newcastle game. We've got Torres in goal, back four of Malik Estrada, who has signed a new big contract. He's on 140k now, but he's got a deal till 2040. He got rid of his release clause as well. And as you can see, he is turning into quite the good centre-back. Definitely going to be one of the best centre-backs in the world. Pearson, who's also improving quite a bit now. He's playing regularly, along with Patrak. I mean, these guys have still got room for improvement, but they are a little bit older, so they're not improving as quickly as some others. But yeah, they're doing good. A midfield two of Charles and Ngoma. We've got Jakob on the right, Mora on the left, and then Mua and Kanisa up front. We have performed another couple of transfers as well. This Ahmad deal just won't leave. I just can't turn it off. We've signed a couple other players as well. The first one is Ignaciji Klarafaric. That's going to be hard. We're going to call him Klaf. Klaf joins us. He's a 19-year-old Croatian midfielder. He's got 2 stars, I think it is. Yeah, 2 stars of current ability, but potentially 5 stars. He joins us for his £10 million release clause. He's come through the Dynamo Academy in Croatia, and he looks quite good. 5'8", can play DM, centre mid, so he's going to join us next season, but he is going to go back out on loan to Dynamo to get more game time, which is obviously going to be good for his development. And another one, we've gone back to the PSG. Well, it's Nicolas Carrizo. We've paid 32.5 million for him, and then 2.5 after 50 league games. He's a right midfielder, can also play up front. Argentinian, was signed for 16.5 million from Estudiantes in Argentina. He's came in, scored a goal every other game, and then got an assist in 5 other games as well. And they've pretty much been happy to sell him. He's already a star player. He's going to be very, very good. So he's going to be probably our second choice right mid behind Batista, but could even start ahead of him. He's very much well rounded. He's got good technicals, mentals, and physicals. So 6'1", can also play up front as well. So we've basically got our 2 wingers. We've got obviously a left winger coming in. We've got a DM coming in. So really, most of our recruitment for next season is probably already done. As you can see, the budget's down to 38 million. So we've probably spent a lot, and looking at the money we've got, we are 85 in the hole. Now, obviously, we do have 217 coming in, so we should be okay money-wise. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean, the only player who's leaving us at the end of the season is Sainz as well. Obviously, we'll talk about this in more depth once we get to the transfer special at the end of this season. But for now, we should stop focusing on the transfers, focus on where we are at the minute. Obviously, I think we're going to have a team probably capable of challenging for the Champions League, but we're not probably going to be in the Champions League because at the minute we aren't in the top 5. So this is a massive game. Win this, and we could kick on and get into the top 5. There isn't too many games left in the Prem. We've obviously got the FA Cup and the Conference League to think about as well. But we are close enough to where if we were to go on a bit of a run now, we could get, if we win all of our games, we could get in the top 5. I think it's just about making that consistency. I think this is the last really hard game we've got. I think everyone else is very much beatable, and I think we've pretty much found our level where we pretty much beat everyone, but then when we come up against a really good side like Liverpool or Newcastle, we do seem to falter. However, City have done really well this year, and we've managed to beat them on a couple of occasions. So I do think we have improved. It's just maybe defensively we're still a little bit not as good as the rest. But I think partly that's the way we play as well. We obviously quite an attacking side. So I think when you think about this team, where the players are going to come in, I think obviously the left winger is going to come in on for Mora. That's an obvious one. We probably need another striker, though. I think that's the main thing, really. We need a really world-class striker to sit next to Mua, or at least a leading Premier League, a star Premier League striker to sit next to Mua. And then we'll have a brilliant front four, especially with that Carrizo as an option. He always could be the striker. You never know. He might work really well as a striker. We could always try that in the first instance and then go back to a Garcia. But also keep in mind, Garcia is a bit of a wonder kid, so he's got potential to keep getting better. He could fill that spot himself. He just needs to keep improving. He has been scoring more recently now that the pressure's off him a little bit with Canisa coming in. So there's every chance it could just be Garcia that we've already got. And then obviously I think Ngoma or Charles, obviously Ngoma's a little bit younger, probably plays a little bit better more often, so I think Bellingham's probably going to come in as the box-to-box, and Ngoma can still keep his place as the deep-line playmaker. I think that suits Bellingham being the box-to-box, but he's 31, so I guess we'll see how his fitness is. I'm sure he'll be still really good at 31. I don't think he's going to have dropped off at all, really. If anything, he should be still pretty much just hitting a sort of a plateau at this point. That was a great effort, very close to going in. It's kind of just went across the goal line, unfortunately. Patrak still with the ball, though, plays it back to Ngoma. Ngoma back to Patrak, tries to find Canisa in the middle, but it's well cleared by Newcastle, who try to get a counter going, but it was a good block from Ngoma to prevent it. But the highlight's still going, and Patrak has raced out to try and win it, but in the end, he does actually get on the end of his interception. Mora plays it out to Patrak. Can he get it back to Mora? He can. It's a great ball in. He's got to find a man in the middle. He doesn't. He goes back to Patrak, into Ngoma. The highlight's still going. Ngoma into Shea Charles, back to Ngoma, out to Patrak. Can he get round his man? He does. He's got a second to beat. Ends up going all the way back to Ngoma, who swings it all the way back to Estrada, and we're forced to build it up again. But Malik on the right-hand side plays it to Charles, who tries a first-time pass, and that's probably the lack of quality in Shea Charles that I think when we put Bellingham in there, we're going to have more quality. So that it totally changes the game. But a good tackle from Ngoma to win the ball back. This highlight is never ending. Pearson over to Estrada. I feel like we've got to get a goal at the end of this, otherwise why have we seen this highlight for so long? Jakob into Mua, who's hacked down, and that's it. Why did we have such a long highlight? I thought it was going to keep going as well. Such a long highlight for nothing, really, but I guess we saw how the game's being played. We're both good sides, and we are fairly patient with the build-up. I know we play an attacking type of football, but we are still somewhat patient with it. It isn't necessarily just route one or anything like that. Not a bad half from us. You just want to see a bit more quality going forward. We'll lay into the lads a little bit, and hopefully that will produce a little bit more bravery to maybe play a more risky ball, because I think we've been a little bit too safe with the passes there. I think a lot of times Mora or Patrak could be getting round and getting the ball in the box rather than trying to always work it back to make sure we don't, lose the ball. But yeah, I think we're so Bellingham probably comes in for Charles. Is it Elisa Bensiga or something? He comes in on the left, and then Carrizo obviously is either going to be second choice to Jakob, or he could even start up front. Obviously, we're going to lose Canisa at the end of the season. That's going to be, definitely a blow. We've definitely improved since he's come in. I think him and Pearson have probably made the biggest differences, to be fair, in the signings. That's a good save from Torres. The other thing with Torres as well, he's gotten over his issue where he was wanting to leave to play Champions League football. He's over it now. So he's starting to actually play a lot better since that promise thing's gone, which is good. Patrak whips it in, cleared by the Newcastle defender, Paddy Moore, on the edge of the box for some reason, ends up with the ball at his feet, and that is another goal from Paddy Moore. We spent a lot of money on Moore. I think it's been worth it. I think he's been, by far, he is our top goal scorer. I think Jakob was our top goal scorer at one point, but Moore's he's definitely been the top scorer. I've kind of moved him about a little bit from channel forward to deep line forward, but in the end, I think deep line forward is where he's best. One player that actually has played quite a few games off the bench for us is Chris Gray. His potential's still high. He's not really improving that much, but he's honestly done quite well. This is not telling the story. There we go. In the Conference League, he is banging goals in. He's got 5 goals, 4 assists in 10 games. Now, obviously, we are against some easier competition in those games, so maybe that's it. Why is Garcia not on the bench? Oh, there he is. Garcia is going to come on for Canisa, who Garcia is up to 3.5 stars apparently now. Maybe we should be playing Garcia more. He looks like he's actually improved quite a bit since the last time I've truly looked at him. So maybe he should be starting, but we'll not mess with it for the rest of the season. Obviously, next season, I guess it's going to be Garcia's spot to lose then. So maybe we do already have the striker. We did say it could be Garcia because he's got potential. We knew he's got potential. It was just about making sure we gave him enough game time, and we have done. Again, whether he's better off as a second choice deep line forward or whether he can be the channel forward, I don't know. I do think Moore on the left is a good player, but we could definitely do better. We'll make a sub though. I'm not really sure who to bring on. I guess we'll bring Gray on for Jakob. I've been playing Gray out wide as well, and he's been doing quite well. We'll take Charles off for Jose, and I guess we'll bring Malik Tor on as well. Swap those two around. And just sort of shore up the midfield with some defensive midfielders as well. I think Jose's probably one that's going to be on the chopping board for next season. He's him, Milot, and maybe Etta Young. That's kind of who I'm eyeing up as probably players that are going to be axed next season. Obviously, with Bellingham coming in, we probably don't need 4 DMs when we've got other people who can fill in if needed. That was well won by Garcia, but Paddy Moore just didn't really predict that he was going to win it. Otherwise, he could have got on the end of that. I don't think any of the fullbacks or centre-backs are really in danger. I suppose maybe one centre-back could be in danger just because we've got Pearson, Estrada, De Ligt, Tor, Van Hecker. There's a few, probably one too many options there. We'll bring Marty on as our last sub for Patrak because he's a bit tired. So maybe one of those goes. Maybe Malik Tor probably is the safest one because he can play left back, right back, and DM. He's basically your perfect utility player. So probably De Ligt, maybe Van Hecker. I mean, we've only just brought Van Hecker in, so I think either of those going is fine. Just as happy to keep them both for the season as well, just as rotation options. But we have won the game, which is good. We are only 4 points behind Newcastle, so if we can win that game in hand, we are only a point behind them. So we are very much in touching distance of getting into that space. And I imagine this is probably the game in hand we're going to play now on the Wednesday. So we've got Mansfield next, our old club, who are just about outside the relegation zone. Hopefully we don't. Their upcoming loss to us, fingers crossed, doesn't put them in too much danger because they are, obviously our former club. So yeah. Anyway, let's go to the Mansfield game and hopefully we can close this gap a little bit and get closer to the top 5. So for the second game of the episode, we are playing our old club, Mansfield. We're going with the same 11. A couple of players could probably do with the rest, but we really do want to be getting in the top 5 in the Champions League, if possible. I think Europe is guaranteed now. We won the League Cup, so we're definitely getting the Conference League. I think FA Cup's Europa League, and I think obviously if you win the Conference League, it's Europa League as well. So I think at the bare minimum will be Europa League next season, but we could still push for a Champions League spot. I was actually telling Fibs, Paddy Moore isn't our top scorer. He is neck and neck with Jakob. I mean, that's a hell of a return. And really, I guess Kanisa's only been here since January, so he probably would keep pace with these as well. But yeah, very, very good. And look at the assists from the fullbacks as well. There's a certain way of playing. It's lots and lots of goals. But yeah, looking at the squad, even like a young Chris Gray, still coming up with 11 goal contributions over the season. Garcia, 17 goals. Like I say, he's definitely... I actually didn't realise how much he's improved. He very much should be probably starting next season, I think, once we... But I think for now, Kanisa's probably the better option. You know what? We'll give Garcia a go. We'll put him back in. I don't know what he's better off. I think Garcia might be better off as like that, but I think that's Mua's best spot. And I'd rather play Mua where he's best. I don't know. I do like Kanisa. Let's just put Kanisa back in. I mean, he's been so good, hasn't he? Yeah. He doesn't score as much, but he gets a lot of assists. Yeah, we'll go with what works. We don't need to change it. We don't need to be messing about at this stage of the season. So we're going with the same 11, but we'll probably give Garcia a start in the FA Cup and the Conference League anyway. So he'll definitely keep getting more game time now. I think next season it's probably going to be his spot to lose if we can't sign another striker. I think in terms of signings for the summer, I don't know if we'll do a lot of business. I don't know really whether we should even do a transfer special in that way because most of our business we've already done. So I don't really feel the need probably to do a full transfer special. We might just get through the transfers off screen because, like I say, there's not going to be too much to do. I know I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here because we still have, obviously, the rest of the season. Charles goes close to getting us up 1-0 up. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because it's obviously probably we've probably done most of the business. Obviously, Bellingham's coming in on a big wage. We've spent money on the right winger. We've got Ben Seeger coming in on a decent wage. So we've probably signed what we need. I guess Pearson maybe is potentially could lose a spot. One of the fullbacks could, but they've both been good. So really, it's probably looking at a really world-class centre-back to come in alongside Estrada, and then maybe just clearing out a few names. I don't think we need to go and do a lot. Obviously, we aren't challenging for the league yet, but that's more just with how inconsistent we've been. And I think now, if we had this squad now at the start of the season, we would be challenging for the league. And I also think with next season's squad, Mora's got to just square that. He's got to just square it. Kanisa and Moore were there. If he just squares it, it's 1-0. Instead, he's went himself. Yeah, I can't blame him. He is through on goal, but I think he should be squaring that. Moore with a very good effort. Paddy Moore. I mean, he was a little bit inconsistent at the start. He kind of hit the ground running and then went a few games without a goal, and then he was kind of in and out. He's been scoring very, very regularly as of late, and I do think deep line forward just works better, whether that's because he's on the right coming in on the left, or whether because he does just suit that role more. I don't know. I think that's maybe the one thing with Garcia, as much as I do like him, and I think obviously he is improving. He's got that Wonder Kid tag on him as well, so he's only going to get better. I do think maybe channel forward just with his height, and he's not the quickest striker. I don't know if it really suits him. I think Moore's probably more of a channel forward, but honestly, I like Moore as the deep line. He just seems to do better there. Whether I see him there or not, he always plays better there and scores more there. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess Garcia maybe is just going to be a really good second choice second choice forward for both positions. But obviously, we're going to be in some European competition next season anyway, so we do obviously need the depth. I think Etae Young, we probably don't need. I mean, obviously, Kanisa is going to go, so we will need another one. That's shocking from Mora. I'm glad we're getting a new left wing, because as much as Mora's got a lot of goals and assists, quite a few of them have came outside the league. Let's be fair, a lot of them have came in the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Conference. So I think as a Premier League left winger, we will definitely improve by having Ben Seeger out there. I hope that's his name, because I've mentioned him quite a few times. That was a little bit of a sloppy pass from Ngoma, but Mora just about latched onto it. Hopefully his second pass can be better. That's a lot better, much more direct into Patrak, who floats one in. Jakob's there, doesn't fall to him, but Shea Charles, oh my God, I couldn't get my words out. Shea Charles knocked it down. How is Kai Havertz still playing for Mansfield? They've got Kalper. We were going to sign him when he was on the cheap, but we never ended up doing it, and he just seems to have fell out with the squad. I mean, it's very much still our side. Looking at the Mansfield side, it's the goalkeeper's the same. I think there's only like I say, Kai Havertz, who inexplicably is still playing up front for this team. I don't know why, because he's rubbish now. When they've got Kalper, who's still got potential to get better. He could still be a maybe not a leading Premier League player, but a good Premier League striker. Mora clips the bar from distance, goes out for a goal kick. But yeah, it's still very much the Mansfield side we've built. They've not really upgraded it too much, which is probably why they're just still, without my obviously expert stewardship, are still probably just sort of what's the word? Just sort of hovering over the relegation zone. But they have won the ball back in a decent position. Molina, one of our last signings, plays it to Suarez. And obviously, a lot of these boys were... it would be him. It'd have to be him. I was slagging him. It had to be Kai Havertz. I don't think he scored like 5 goals all season. I've been slagging him non-stop all game, and he's went and scored against us. But it was really mostly from Molina and Suarez. Let's be fair. Havertz, it was just a tap-in. Kalper could have done that as well. Anyway, 1-1. That's not great. We should be doing better. I'm wondering if maybe it is just some tired legs, because we are... we are playing this only 3 days after. We've got a lot of fixtures on, and We've really not had a break in a while. The last time we had a break was before the Hull game in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. There was an international break, and for some reason, just not too many of our lads went away. I think Moore was the only one really that went away. Paddy Moore from I thought that was curling in. My depth perception, not great. We've been the better side. I think they've just got a lucky goal back, and unfortunately it is 1-1. This is an opportunity, though. We are the only one playing. A win would put us 1 point behind Liverpool and Newcastle. So we definitely need to win this game. We've got a couple of tired legs, which I guess we'll have to address. Shea Charles is going to come off for Jose. don't really have another DM. So I guess maybe Jose won't be on the chopping block next season. I guess we may like just show him out, and if there's interest and it's a decent offer, we'll sell him. But if no one's... Sorry, I always do these after I've had my tea, so I'm always burping. Yeah, if no one really shows any interest in Jose, then we're not going to like force him out. We're not going to sell him at a loss. I think we actually signed him on a free, so we can't really sell him at a loss anyway. But we don't need to move him on if no one's interested. We're happy to keep him as a fourth choice. But yeah, I think obviously we've got probably the centre-halves. We probably just need a really experienced world-class centre-half next to Estrada. Estrada's going to be a world-class centre-half, I'm sure of it. Pearson will probably be one eventually as well, but it's probably going to maybe come too late for us. Yeah, I don't know. We're still struggling a little bit here. We've not really got the goals that we were needing. We're going to put Canisa out wide, and we will bring Garcia on because we need the goals, and he should be the man to bring it. We're also going to bring Marty on at the left as well, and hopefully we can go and get ourselves a winner. We've been the much better side. It's just about showing a bit of quality in that final third to get the goal. And hopefully Garcia coming on can make a statement why he should be starting. Canisa plays it to Mua, who swings it. Oh, Garcia! It was his moment. It fell to him. It was a lovely ball in. It was good. It was well worked. It was really well worked. And Garcia should have just finished it. He really should have done. It's very, very poor from Garcia. He's just slashed at it rather than just, he's just got to place it. Really, he's straight in front of the goal. He's just got to place it one side or the other and it goes in. So maybe that's why he's not starting. But Garcia on the run, try again. It's just that lacking a little bit of quality, Garcia, because he does well to get forward and then it's just not a great effort. Oh, I thought Ngoma had scored a screamer. He scored a couple screamers this season, actually, Ngoma. He doesn't score a lot, but he's one of them. When he does score, it's always a banger. We'll have to take... I guess we'll have to take Jakob off. What I'm going to do is actually put Paddy Moore out wide and bring Etta Eong on and go 4 strikers and hope that... I mean, it's a little bit brain dead, but it's basically just hope that they all come on and do well. We'll bring Van Hecker on as well for Estrada because he's getting pretty tired. Unfortunately, we're going to have to bring Malik Tor on as well. We're out of subs. Okay, well, we'll just do the Van Hecker one then. And yeah, bring Etta Eong as well. But yeah, not ideal, obviously, moving Moore out, but I think we need to get as many people who can score goals on the pitch. We don't really have any other good wingers. So Etta Eong comes on. Hopefully, he can do something for us in that upfront position. Garcia does well, takes it in, needs to find an option. It wasn't the best ball to Marty, but it's still going, and Canisa plays it back to Marty. He's got players in front of him. It's a poor pass from Marty. Don't really know what he's trying to do, but Canisa's won it back. He was fouled by Suarez, who was on a yellow. I think he should be walking, but nevertheless, it hasn't been given. And it's still just the one goal. We need to get the winner to get ourselves close. 1 point to 5th. Garcia, what the hell was that? Malik just about keeps it in, but it was really going out for a goal kick. Not sure why he's kept it in. And Malik plays it to Ngoma. This is the weirdest highlight ever. Mua, Canisa hits the bar. Eong's got to follow it in, and he doesn't. And we've got the throw in. There's not long left. We want the highlight to continue. The highlight hasn't continued. We're going to just roll the dice, go very attacking, get the goalkeeper up for corners. A point really doesn't do anything for us. We need to go and grab the winner. Late highlight. Marty floats one in. Ngoma plays it back out to Marty, who floats one in. Garcia! Oh, I thought he'd scored. I thought Garcia had got the winner. I got excited. He rose like a salmon, but the bars clipped the post. And for all the dominance, the old side's done us in. It's a vital point for them. It really is. But for us, it still means we're 3 points behind Liverpool and Newcastle. Villa over our shoulder as well. It's disappointment. We're not out of it, obviously, with 3 points. It's only 3 points, but it probably means we're relying on other results, really. And that is disappointing. But it looks at worst like we're probably going to finish 7th, which is one better than last year. So if we do that for 7 seasons, we'll win the league. But again, it's definitely a different Premier League now. Teams aren't winning the league on big points now. So we've only got, 4 more games? Yeah, 4 more games, 38-game season. So 4 more games, they're all very winnable. Sunderland, Norwich, Brighton, Palace. So we should be winning our 4. And then at that point, we just have to hope either these play each other or something. But 5th should be enough for Champions League. I guess top 4 isn't really out of the question. It is only 4 points. So Spurs are still in this as well. So Spurs, Newcastle, Liverpool, us and Villa probably all trying to get in the top 5. So only 2 of us are going to manage it. But I guess we'll find that out. So I think what we'll do is we'll just come back for the last 2 games of the Premier League season. And then we'll know whether we're in the Champions League. We'll know by then whether we're... if obviously we can't win it, then I guess we'll just come back for hopefully the FA Cup and Conference League final. But yeah, so we'll play these games off camera. We'll at the very most be coming back for Brighton. But if we somehow don't win these games or whatever that may be, we somehow, if we lose back-to-back and then we're nowhere near getting top 5, then it doesn't really matter. Then we'll just go to the end of the season and play the cup games if we're still in it. I think we're probably going to win these, so I would imagine we'll have a treble potentially on our hands. But yeah, so we'll probably come back for Brighton Palace. A bit of a rivalry, isn't it? Brighton Palace? Or am I making that up? I think it is. Or maybe it's not. Is that Brighton Southampton? I think it's Brighton Southampton anyway. I think I'm talking nonsense. Or is it Palace Southampton? Maybe it's all 3. Maybe they're all rivals with each other and I'm just confusing it. But anyway, we're going to come back for those 2 because we should still be in a chance of getting Champions League football. Last roll of the dice. We're going to go play these games off camera, come back for those 2. Hopefully we're still in it. And then after that, hopefully we've got an FA Cup and or a Conference League final to play as well. But we'll figure it all out. You'll know by next episode anyway, so you don't need to worry about it. All I need to worry about, but you don't need to worry about it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the UK Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.